Please come forward to be sworn. You're on. Yeah. You may go ahead.
Ready to take a seat, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to the testimony about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
What else? Say, spell your first and last name in the record.
Shania Burns, FJ, MIA, URS.
All right. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Burns, I'm going to ask you some questions. Just answer them. If you didn't hear what I said or don't understand, just let us know, okay? Ms. Burns, turning your attention to September 26th, 2025 at approximately 1 p.m, where were you? And how did you get there? Where did you drive from? And with whom were you driving? Was there anyone else with you?
When we arrived at 9?
Yes. When you arrived at the barber shop, what happened?
I went in and heard, when we pulled in, my Terran, the owner of the barber shop, he left to go get something to drink. Came back and went in the barber shop. I sat in a chair. I don't know. Chair.
I'm going to interrupt you, and I apologize that I might do that a few times, but how do you know Terrence? And he owns that barbershop? Okay. And why were you both at that barbershop? And you said you were with Lamar Thomas? How do you know Lamar Thomas? How long have you known him? Is he your cousin by blood? You have to say yes or no. The record can't pick up a head shake. Okay. But you've been family. You consider him to be family? All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's not easy. Very nerve-wracking. We'll just remind you. When you were at the barbershop, and while you were there, what, if anything, happened? While you were at the barbershop, what, if anything, happened?
What, if anything, happened?
Yes, ma'am.
And then,
Anything out of the ordinary happened besides you getting a haircut? Okay. So what was the first thing that happened?
the came to the barber shop.
When you say the defendant, you mean a person came in?
Barbershop, Lamar, and the person made eye contact. After the person walked out the barbershop, a couple minutes later, Lamar asked questions to Terrence.
Okay, I'm going to stop you real quick. Can you describe the person who came in from outside?
Light skin, bro, like a little kid.
And do you see that person in the courtroom today? Can you identify them by where they're seated and what they're wearing?
To the right of me, glasses, sleeve slipper.
Your Honor, would the record reflect the in-court identification of defendant Smith?
No objection, Your Honor.
Without objection, record shall so reflect.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. Now you said the person we've identified as Mr. Smith entered and then left. And then what happened? What happened after that?
Lamar asked a question to Terrence, and then Terrence answered the question that he asked.
Well, what did Lamar ask?
Did he have a bathroom we could go to?
And what was Terrence's answer?
He said yes, and his family uses a bathroom at the moment.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
Did he have a bathroom we could go in, and Terrence told him yes.
Okay. And then what did you see happen next?
After Lamar came back in the back room, we sat down for about 30 seconds. He conversed.
I'm going to stop you real quick because I just want to make sure we're very clear about what happened, because you just said Lamar came back from the back room. So did you see Lamar go to the back room? Okay. So you saw Lamar go to the back room. How long was he there? Okay. And then he came out. Where did he sit down?
If I'm sitting right here, he will be to the left side, like right in front.
Okay. You said that when Mr. Smith came in, he and Lamar looked at each other. You were able to observe both of them? And how long did that take? How long did they look at each other? Was anything said between them? Okay. Mr. Thomas came back, sat down. What happened after that?
When he said his day, he asked for the keys to the bar. I gave him the keys and he walked out.
When you gave him the keys, what did you observe him to be doing?
Yeah, his hand under his sweatshirt.
Which hand? And when you say under his sweatshirt, can you describe using words what you mean?
He has right hand under his hoodie, and he has look like he could have been collecting something under his armpit.
Which armpit?
Left.
So his right hand under his left armpit? Okay. And you said you handed him the keys? What hand did he take those with?
Left.
His left? Did he have anything else in his hand that you could see? His phone. Okay. Prior to getting to Ann Arbor that day, did you observe him to be possessing anything else?
Yes.
What did you observe him to be possessing?
Weapon.
What kind of weapon? What can you describe that for the court, please?
Like 19 or 17, and he put automatic effect.
Okay. And you observed that personally? Did you see that firearm when you were in the barber shop? But you had seen it before? Okay. After he gave you, or you gave him the keys, what did he do next? And what did you see?
Walking out barbershop. I see someone see that in the street, turned around, see what the person was doing. And that's when the shooting happened.
When you say what the person was doing, what are you referring to?
The boy caught on the sidewalk and went over reaching to grab her.
Okay. How many people did you see? Was one of them Mr. Smith that you just identified? Do you know who the other one was?
No.
Had you seen the other person before?
No.
Do you see the other person in court now, or could you not identify them based on what you saw?
No.
You couldn't identify them?
That's a tricky question because it was 3 of them. So I don't know if it was somebody else.
Okay. When Lamar walked out, what did you observe?
No, walking with his head in his phone.
I'm sorry, his head in his phone?
Him looking down at his phone.
Okay.
And then he turned around.
Okay. And then you said what?
That's when he turned around.
And when he turned around, what did you see?
They whipping out their pants pocket with their hands area. And then him, that's when he grabbed his and the shot was exchanged.
Okay. And do you know which person fired shots? Okay. Now you know.
No.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you describe for the court how you could see this, what you were looking through?
My face board material. This will be the sidewalk. The defendants, the people is like right here. And Lamar is like straight ahead.
So I appreciate that. And the gestures are helpful for those of us here in the room. We can't put that on the record. So I want you to try and describe it using your words. I know it's not easy to do.
I'm facing straightforward towards the street of the barbershop. The people are walking to the right side of the barbershop, like on the sidewalk, going toward the end of the plaza, toward the right.
Okay.
Mark's walking straight ahead towards across the parking lot.
Do you know where this barbershop is in Ann Arbor?
Packard.
On Packard? Okay. Can you just describe the parking lot and how that's situated from the barbershop?
The courtroom fell silent as the witness took the stand, her voice shaking but determined. She described the barbershop, the sudden tension, and the moment everything changed. Every detail mattered, because this wasn't just a story anymore, it was the truth unfolding in front of everyone.
Big parking lot, I guess,
Let me ask you this question. Is the barbershop a freestanding building?
by myself,
Yes, ma'am. No? How would you describe it then?
it's a business surrounded by other businesses.
Like in a strip mall? Okay. And the parking lot is in front?
Yes,
Is there like a sidewalk between the parking lot and the businesses?
yes.
Okay. That's where you observed the two young men? All right. After the shots were fired, what happened next?
Lamar started dunking down and running towards the car that was part of the front of the barber shop. It was still in the parking lot, but it was across on the other side.
Okay.
And everybody went separate ways.
Which way did the other two people go?
To the right.
To your right, facing the front of the barbershop? After they ran, could you hear anything? Did you hear gunshots?
I was like, that nigga was running, they were still shooting. Well, they was running and shooting at the same time.
Do you know how many gunshots you heard? Was it one gunshot? Multiple gunshots. After you heard the gunshots and people ran, what did you do?
I got him outside to see, to check on Lamar. And I didn't see him going.
Okay. So where did you go?
Barbershop door, across the parking lot.
Could you see at this point, Mr. Smith, or any of the other people? Did you see where they had gone? So you walked across the parking lot. Did you see Lamar?
Yeah.
Where did you see him? And where was he? Was he in the street? Was he? And that's the sidewalk between the parking lot and the Packard's?
You said the sidewalk between the parking lot and Packard?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. And I know this is traumatic, but can you describe for the court what you saw as far as how Lamar looked?
Lamar, he was moving a little bit, but he wasn't real, like he had a sharp eye.
How was he laying?
Kind of on his side, but a little bit on his back.
Okay. Did you see blood? Where did you see that?
Running down his face, his eye.
Did you see it anywhere else? What did you do?
I immediately tried to call the police. Well, I would make sure he was still breathing. And I told him to stay here while I call the police. And like the air police officer was.
Okay, and then what happened?
Police officer checked on him, trying to keep him breathing until the ambulance came.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You said you called his mother. Did you tell her what was going on? Okay. Did you speak to any officers after this happened?
Yes.
How many did you speak to?
Probably 3.
Okay. And did you tell them all the same story entirely?
Yes.
You didn't, nothing was different? How many people were in the car with you when you drove to this location? You know, if I could have just a moment. And just to be very, very clear, the person you saw on the ground is the person you know to be Lamar Thomas.
Yes.
I have no further questions, Ms. Burns. Thank you very much.
Just so that we're clear, and they're going to start cross-examination in a moment. The barber shop, then there's a sidewalk. If you were going straight out to barber shop, there's a sidewalk. And then at some point, there's like a row for cars to park. And then there's an open space where cars drive to park in that area. Then there's another row for cars to park,
Yes.
right? And then a sidewalk, and then the street. Okay. And with that description, where was Lamar laying when you
between the last row of cars and the sidewalk in the street.
Got it. Okay. All right. Cross examination.
Is it okay if I go first, Mr. Upstage?
Whichever. Why don't we go this way around?
That's fine.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Ms. Burns, I'm going to go back to the incident date if I could. Okay. And I'm going to go through some different things. And if I tend to ask a question or I pause, feel free to answer. Let's try not to talk over each other. So if I understand correctly, there was a moment where you were, after the shooting, where you were in the parking lot and you were on the phone. Do you remember that? And there was a police officer, a female police officer, who came over to speak with you. Do you remember that? I just want to sort of set the stage, if I could, for that conversation with the police officer. Would you agree with me that that was just minutes after the shooting had taken place?
Yeah.
And Lamar was still on the ground, a few feet from you. Yes. And there was another police officer who was attempting to tend to him. Yes.
Are you saying 2 officers?
There was another officer that was trying to take care of Lamar.
Okay.
And if I understand correctly, you were frustrated by the pace of the ambulance and or emergency services, and that you have a nickname for Lamar.
SC.
Yes. Would you tell us what FC stands for?
Favorite cousin.
And throughout your interaction with the police on that day, you were referring to him as FC, my FC, or my FC, or FC, stay with me, that kind of a thing. Yes. A few moments, and I'm just going to talk about what you were experiencing. You were upset. And tell me if any of these are inaccurate. You were emotional, you were upset, you were sort of had a loud voice, you were putting your hands on your head, you were at various times crying, all those things were happening all at once, right?
Yes.
I think at one point you actually, before a while the female officer came to speak with you, you actually made some sort of loud, like that kind of a frustrated sound. You remember doing that? Put your hands to your face, and at one point you were crying. And the officer she asked you to sit down on the curb or sit down. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You were like, I can't sit down. Too upset, can't sit down. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in that frame of mind, the officer asked you a question. She asked you, what did you see? And just tell me if in that emotional, excited state, you said, yeah, so you just were rattling things off to her, just stream of consciousness, just telling her what had happened, right? Yeah, you were just stream of consciousness. You were just in the moment, emotional, just sort of rattling off.
No, I told her exactly what happened.
You told her exactly what happened. Did you say to her, yeah, so the boy just came in there?
Yes.
He peeped who the boy was. He asked for the keys to go to the car. Once he asked for the keys to go to the car, 2 of the boys walked by.
Yes.
I'm just going through sentence by sentence, just so we don't talk over each other. That's all. My FC got to clutching his gun. The boy got to clutching his gun. The boy, I think it says, yelled first.
Yeah.
The boy turned first. They both got to shooting. My FC ran towards the car. A few moments later, another police officer, who's a gentleman, a man, came over to sort of talk to you and work with you. Yes? And you had said to that officer, again, as soon as they turned their head, my FC grabbed his gun. Remember saying that? The other, and then you used the word, the N word. I'm not going to use that. But you said other N grabbed his gun. Remember that?
You said to say yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You're good. You're doing well.
Other dude fired first. Now, I'm just going to go through one more thing with you if I could. Originally, when you ran over to where Lamar was, there was a male officer that was tending to him, trying to help him. And I think he had yelled out to you, what happened? And that was even sooner after the shooting. Still emotional. And you said they both got to clutching. And when I seen him reaching, and I think you said my FC was reaching too. So your FC was already reaching. Is that what you told them?
He was already clutching.
Already clutching. Next thing I know, they both got to shooting.
She told the court how she saw the men look at each other, how one reached under his sweatshirt, and how fear filled the room before anyone could react. In that moment, everything felt slow, yet it all happened too fast for anyone to stop it.
The reason why I go through those things with you is that in that moment, you went through things chronologically with the officers. And the first person that you told the police who clutched or reached for his gun was your FC. That's what you told the police.
Don't recall how did he reach for his gun if it was already getting in.
I'm just asking you chronologically, and we can break that down. When I say chronologically, I mean in the order of things. And the first person that you said to the police, you said, my FC got to clutching his gun. That's the first person amongst this whole group of people that you described as clutching his gun was your cousin. Yes? So that's first. Then it was the boy after, right? The boy is Omar, right? After FC, and I'm just going to be clear, clutching is a phrase that I didn't come up with that phrase. That's your phrase, right? Clutching means holding, grabbing, same thing. Could you, if you would, if I could fast forward a bit, or to go back a bit and talk about when the person you identified as Omar came into the barbershop. Okay, I want to go back there. The barbershop is I'm going to say long, which is not a very articulate word or very descriptive, but it's sort of a long, narrow business. Is that right? Yeah, like narrow. You walk in, and maybe that's not easy to answer. I can show you a picture, but you walk in the door, and then there's some seats on the left, there's some seats on the right. Yes, and in the back there are some actual barbershop chairs. Yes. It's not particularly wide. It's not like as wide as this courtroom, right? It's in fact pretty narrow. If you were just from this wall here near where the witness stand, almost to where the glass is, it's about that narrow. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when Omar entered into the barbershop, I want to make it clear, he walked in the front door. Yes. And you've described him coming in the front door to the police before, have you not?
Yes.
And you described it just now on the witness stand. Yes. So I want to also talk about, if I could, some of the things that you didn't describe or things that you didn't tell the police or didn't testify to about Omar coming in. Okay. Omar did not threaten Lamar when he came in, correct? No, I know that. I appreciate that. Can affirmatively you agree he did not?
Wait, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's not a double negative. So he did not threaten Lamar, right? Now, there are hand gestures you've seen people make before, and this is probably shows my age. I'm a little older than you are. people like, take their fingers out and do stuff like that. He didn't take his fingers out or hands out and do anything like that towards, right? This is another one people have done where they take their hand kind of and slice it across their neck. He didn't do anything like that, right? No words, no threats, no hand gestures directed towards Lamar, correct? He didn't even mouth anything. Am I right? When I say I'm correct. Yes. He didn't mouth anything like your dad or something, nothing like that. Now, I know you said that the two appeared to look at each other. What's that? You could see Omar looking in the direction of where Lamar was sitting. Where was Lamar sitting at that time? Where were you sitting at that time? And so you're in a chair. Are you in the first chair, the second chair, the third chair? So you're in the chair that's the closest to the front door. And there are some guest chairs, if you will, or waiting chairs right across from there. Yes. And he's sitting in one of those waiting chairs to the left of you. Is he sitting next to you or is he sitting across from you? Directly across. What I'd like to do, if you don't mind, I'm just going to. Can I mark an exhibit? Would that be all right? Or just. Do I mark them or do you want me to mark them? Okay.
You're going to use letters.
Yes, Your Honor. Should I use, do we just do it together sequentially or should I do one?
Sequentially, however you want it.
I'll do Smith A.
Smith A. That's right. Will that work?
Ma'am, I'm just going to show you what I think are just 3 photographs. I'm going to show the state first. These were provided to us. These are screenshots from body-worn camera of the interior of the barbershop, and I want to see if you can identify these. May I approach the prosecution, Your Honor, to show them?
Yes, you may.
May I approach the witness? You may. May I approach you, ma'am? Yes. Should I go on the side or in front?
Whichever you're more comfortable with, counsel.
So I'm going to show you, ma'am, these, what I've marked as Smith A, Smith B, and Smith C. These are proposed exhibits to see if you can look at these, look at each one, please. Tell me whether they appear to be at least accurate screenshots or photographs of the interior of the barbershop. All 3 are? Okay, so for the record, you looked at Smith A, Smith B, and Smith C. And you've indicated that Smith A, Smith B, and Smith C are accurate photographs of the interior of the barbershop. Is that correct?
Okay.
So we're just going to work through that for a second. So I'm going to move for the admission of Smith A, B, and C.
Any objection or what? Exhibits Smith A, B, and C are admitted.
May I approach the witness again, Your Honor? May I approach you, ma'am? Could you just with an X, if you would, show me where you were seated and which exhibit you're looking at?
You said it's an X.
An X or a circle or what have you? Okay, so you circled that. I'm going to give you a little better. May I approach again, Your Honor?
You may.
May I approach again, ma'am? Give you a red. So just circle it because it's chair that you were in. Okay, thank you. That's on Smith A. I appreciate that. I want to show the court that as well. Show the prosecutor. Do any of these exhibits show where he was seated? The seat that he was in?
No.
He was not in these seats here. Okay.
He being whom?
Mr. Thomas.
Thank you.
And then in C, is he in one of these chairs? This is the chair that Mr. Smith, that Mr. Thomas was in?
Yes.
Okay. Would you just, if you would, around that circle, just write his initials. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. May I approach you, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Now, so Omar turned and walked out. Yes. Lamar then got up from his chair, the chair that you circled in Smith Exhibit C. Yes. He walked towards the back of the shop. Yes. Now, I want to be very careful about this. You've been interviewed by several different police officers. We know that, right? And been interviewed by Detective McDonough. Is that correct? Now, have you ever told Detective McDonough something different than what you testified to today about what Lamar did in the back of the shop? Did you tell Detective McDonough that Lamar got up, walked over towards the back of the shop, and put a bullet or a round in the chamber of the gun? You did tell him that. And one of the things that Detective McDonough did was he asked you whether Lamar always carried a firearm. Do you remember that? Did you tell him that Lamar always carried a firearm? Did you tell him that he carried a gun everywhere? Okay.
As shots rang out, panic took over. People ran in different directions, but one man fell to the ground and didn't get back up. She ran toward him, desperate, checking if he was breathing, knowing her life and his would never be the same again.
Now, do you have any, again, I don't want to put you on the spot, but racking a bullet in a firearm, as far as you know, that makes the gun more ready to shoot?
Yeah.
After Lamar, according to you, racked one in the chamber, he then came back and he sat down in the chair. He didn't sit down for very long, did he? He only sat down for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
He then got up, right? He then went to walk outside towards the front of the building. Yes? What's that? He asked for the keys. I'm going to be very careful about this in the way I ask these things. But at that time, and you've already described what you observed about Omar when he came in the shop. Yes?
Yeah.
You did not observe Omar to be armed. Right?
Not until everyone walked out.
Right. We're going to talk about when he was in. Right. You did not observe Omar to be armed, correct? You didn't see the outline of a gun or a bulge or anything that resembled a gun coming out of his pockets. Is that true?
Right. I wasn't looking there.
I understand. And you never told Detective McDonough when you met with him that you observed Omar with what appeared to be or looked like or seemed like a gun inside the barbershop, correct? So let's just freeze frame, if we could, for a second right there when Lamar went to go walk outside and talk about what your state of mind was. When Lamar went to go walk outside, at that point, the only person that you knew to be armed was Lamar. You expressed some concern about Lamar after he racked one in the chamber, right? You were concerned. You were worried. Weren't you worried about trouble or something happening? Okay. What does that mean, that your FC can hold his ground?
He's a grown man.
Okay, I appreciate that. Could you elaborate on what you meant then when you said that he could hold his ground or he's a grown man? What do you mean?
Business.
Do you mean you weren't worried that he was going to shoot somebody?
I didn't think it was going to be a shootout.
When you saw him or heard him rack the gun, did you tell him to not do it or to put it away or it's not worth it or?
First of all, he went to the back room. That was something I assumed that he did. I know how he operates.
You know how he operates.
See him exactly, so I'm worried.
Well, let me try to flesh that out. I guess I'm trying to ask you, when he was in the back room with the gun, or when he racked one in the chamber and he asked for the keys, were you concerned about him doing something? Did you tell the police that you were concerned about him doing something? Isn't it true that you told Detective McDonough that you were worried and wanted him to walk out? You wanted Lamar to go out a back way.
No.
Isn't it true that when you were talking to detective, or so you were talking to officers Baldwin and Hoy while Lamar was being treated, that you were expressing to them that he tried to warn you, or that you could have stopped it, or anything like that at all?
Said something to me after the person that called the barbershop.
You didn't hear what he said to you.
Minutes later, surrounded by police and flashing lights, she relived the horror again and again while answering questions. Emotional, shaken, and crying, she told officers exactly what she saw because in court, the truth is everything.
Right, let me have I'd like you, if you could, to describe the gun that you saw Omar. You said you saw Lamar carrying, please.
Yeah.
Could you describe it for me?
Now, last cross training, black line, in this blood, and automatics, being automatic.
An automatic. And you, so it had a long magazine.